Back with Jenny and Mark. Criminal defense attorney Anna Hume joins us. Shagun and Debbie, these knockout attacks seem to be on the rise, but so are the arrests in places like Brooklyn, where there have been at least 8 assaults. Some are calling for these juveniles to be charged as adults and tried as adults.
Well,
and Debbie, you said it was a hate crime. Oh, Anna, you saying hate crime or no?
Well, this is my point, Dr. Drew. I disagree with Shagun's point about saying that all kids should not be tried as an adult, because I really think it depends upon so many different factors, right? Like Mark was saying, the criminal history, if they have any, are there any acts of violence in the past, and also the egregious nature of the crime. I mean, if someone gets a one punch knockout, and if someone dies, and let's say that person has a pre-existing medical condition, it's an eggshell victim. You take your victim as you find them. Correct. Someone has to be held accountable.
Yeah, no, that's not.
We are back with Jenny, Jillian, Anna, Shagun, and Sam, and now we have graphic details revealed in the case of a 14-year-old boy accused of raping and murdering his teacher. We are sharing these details because they speak to, first of all, what we've been speculating about with this guy and his mental state at the time of this crime. According to police affidavit, Colleen Ritzer's body was found face up, covered with leaves. Here's how the cops described the scene. Again, this is graphic, so please be careful here. Quote, the victim's throat was slit, her shirt was lifted above her breast, the bra was pulled below, no clothing was on her body from the waist down, and her legs appeared to be in a sexually staged manner. Next to her body, cops found a handwritten note that said, I hate you all. Now, this is becoming increasingly, there also was another added element into, there was a, not only did he position her in a sexual manner, he actually violated her in a way that I really can't even describe to you for television. It's too graphic. But for me, it told me everything I needed to know. The I hate you and that bizarre quality in the sexualized behavior of a 14-year-old and the violence and the premeditation. He came with a box cutter and 3 changes of clothing. Hold everybody. I got Anna here. Now, Anna, here's the deal. The behavior that's being exhibited here is psychopathic behavior. If he did what is, so we have the pieces of the, he allegedly did here. This is psychopathy. This is a very dangerous person who does not understand that other people have feelings or really exist in a way that we all sort of understand each other having agencies. As the lawyer on the panel, what do you say to that?
Well, definitely, Dr. Drew, I completely agree with what you're saying. I think obviously he needs to get evaluated because clearly his actions are not consistent with a normal person. When I first heard this story, and in fact, I said it on your show, something must have happened for him to have felt either humiliated, disrespected, or for him to snap like that. And I wasn't surprised to hear that apparently the teacher said something about his home state, Tennessee, that caused him to react and to get violent. But if I'm the defense attorney on this case, I think there's a lot of hurdles to overcome. But let me just finish on this point. With premeditation, people are saying that maybe he just panicked and that maybe he just went off on her. But then how do you explain the box cutter, the mask, and the gloves, and the change of clothing that he's seen on surveillance video?
And on the affidavit, Sam, I'm going to have Sam comment in a second, but on the affidavit, it was clear that he had done something. He did horrible things with her body. Horrible things, guys, and not worthy of television. But and Sam, your comment.
But think about what you.
But think about who overheard her saying that. But this is the situation, Dr. Drew, and I have a question for you. Is that were there any warning signs? I mean, how is it that someone can just go off and create such horrible conduct? Did his mother not see this?
I'm not a. That's right, Ann. I'm not a big believer in snapping, Jenny. As you know, I've said that many times. I think that all this moving around that went on throughout the country may have had something to do with this kid's behavior.
Drew,
we also know that the father. Hang on, guys. Hang on. The fact is, there's reports of the father having been violent. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and so it may have actually even been a combination of factors that really came to bear on this unfortunate 14-year-old. That now, again, ladies and gentlemen, my constant reminder here is that get help before it's too late. Once things happen, behaviors are manifest where you could have had help beforehand. Adam Lanza is another example of this. Too late. Now